Hello, welcome to a new hour on Fox Weather. You're watching the final hour of Weather Command. I'm Stephen Morgan.
And I'm Haley Meyer. Thanks so much for joining us. We have been anxiously awaiting some updates in the tropics, and they have finally come in.
We have it halfway through this work week, too, Haley, and there are 3 areas that we're watching. One of those areas is a tropical storm. Dexter gaining a little steam early this morning, but it is hauling away from the U.S.
Meanwhile, the National Hurricane Center continuing to monitor 2 other areas for possible organization. The National Hurricane Center saying the disturbance over the central Atlantic could become a tropical depression by the end of the week. Odds are in the medium to high range, about 60%. We're over halfway there to potentially get our next named storm.
The main development region seems to be coming to life, but just into Fox Weather, Colorado State University has released their final update to the Atlantic hurricane season. We bring in Fox Weather hurricane specialist Bryan Norcross. So, Bryan, do we need to update our graphics? Have those numbers by CSU changed?
So we've updated our graphics, but the numbers haven't changed.
Oh, wow.
So here we go.
Both happen, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, both happened at the same time because now it's August, so we have a new column on our graphics. So, all right, take a look here at what the team at Colorado State University is predicting for the hurricane season, and here we go. 16 named storms, 8 of them become hurricanes, and 3 Category 3 and above. Now, so far, of course, we've had 4 of those. That leaves 12. There's a pretty good chance we're going to get 5 and maybe 6 out of these storms that are out there right now, probably not hurricanes. So what that tells you is if all this comes together the way the forecasters are thinking, then things are going to switch to being more likely hurricanes and strong hurricanes here later in the season. And the way the water temperatures and so forth are going, it looks like this will be a backloaded season as the weather pattern becomes more conducive to development here later on in the season. So here's the thinking, the reasoning behind keeping the forecast the same. And they say that the uncertainty is higher than normal. Why? Because the Atlantic is a bit warmer than normal, just slightly warmer than normal, and that makes it a slight plus. The La Nina condition, remember La Nina, it means the atmosphere is more conducive to storm development. We'll call it a La Nina light. It does not look like it's going to be a strong La Nina, but what influence there would be more conducive for storm development, especially later in the season. So that's a plus. But then in June and July, the upper-level winds over the Caribbean have been very hostile. And when they do the correlation, they say when that's hostile, then the hurricane season tends to be slower. So we'll call that a double minus. So they kind of balance each other out, maybe slightly to the plus. And that's why the forecast is slightly above normal with the 16 named storms this year. But, again, with the idea of the season more likely being backloaded as this becomes more of a plus later on in the year. That's the current thinking right now. All right, let's take a look at what's going on out there. There are the systems that Stephen and Haley were mentioning to you. Dexter is actually intensifying a little bit, but it's becoming non-tropical, and it's just going to speed away and not an issue. New today is the shape of this development area, more offshore of North Carolina, more out to sea, more likely to develop into Tropical Storm Erin. We'll look at that, but generally that's good news. And then this system, 60%, somewhere up in here. Yes, big area because it's not exactly clear where the system will develop, but does not look like a threat to land at all. So here's this system we're going to watch off the southeast coast. It's kind of loosely related to this front here and the upper level system that's causing that front to kind of sit there. So here we're going to take a look at this thing day by day. So here we are tomorrow morning. There you can see it right in there trying to get itself going there. We also notice, look at this kink in the flow here. Let me erase that. Look at this kink in the flow right in there. It's kind of associated with that. This is another moisture blob that's going to head toward Florida and into the Gulf. while this kind of moves to the north. So kind of breaks that area of low pressure there. So let's watch it going forward in time, watching up here in the upper left. So there we are late on Thursday. Notice it lifts a little bit to the north. Here comes the moisture into South Florida. This is going to enhance the thunderstorms. No threat here, just enhancing the thunderstorms as the moisture moves over toward the Gulf. And then as we get to the weekend, look, this one up here actually looks like maybe an errand by that time, sometime over the weekend, where this one down here, the main thing is it's more moisture up into the south. Some of the models were showing that maybe a low pressure system would develop, nothing strong, but the bottom line here is just more moisture lodged over the southeastern part of the U.S., so that could be a concern based on everything we've had so far.